building a fizzer. Both wanna be right, loose.
You did it. You found your way to a zone of family and fun again. Now, let me tell you something, listener. There is a giant sea of cool podcasts out there. But finally comes a review show that kicks the cool to the curb. I am your big little brother, Tone.
I'm your little brother, Wopsle.
And I'm your big sister, Shishi.
And this is the podcast that gives you the reviews you didn't know you needed. And to quote Todd Packer from The Office, what's up, my nerds? How are you doing?
So good, Tone. So good.
Good. I'm glad. How are you, She?
I'm okay. I'm making it.
Awesome. Well, guys, I just want to real quick talk about, I'm just really interested in sound effects that you make with your mouth. Okay. I'm just going to put it out there like that.
Okay.
Because I find myself making a lot of sound effects. Oh, and especially when I was a kid and I'm playing with my toys, I would make a lot of sound effects.
Sound effects to me mean something like this, like a.
Are you trying
like
to,
that's a,
are you trying to beatbox?
What are you, ASMR?
Would you say right? Like a silent disco. It's like if you went to a silent disco and someone was beatboxing and they were just like,
yeah.
That's what I think.
Silent disco beatboxing.
When you tell me about mouth
effects?
sound effects, that's what I'm thinking of. Or like this one, like a.
Are you like? How are you doing that? Are you like popping your cheek or what?
Yeah,
I'm making sound effects with my mouth. So those are the things that come to mind for me. Is that what you're talking about?
Or like a siren,
flicking things and like.
Yeah, is that not a sound effect? Is this a sound effect?
That's a sound effect. Only if it accompanies a lightsaber.
Yes, exactly.
Oh,
yes.
For some reason, that's not the first thing that comes to mind for me with sound effects.
Okay.
But
Okay.
I think you're right. Those things are sound effects. No, you're right. I'm just.
No, I got you. You got to. You're weird. Sherry, how about you?
I'm weird as well. Well, what do I think about them? I make them all the time. I don't know if singing like clicking like a chicken instead of singing the words to a song counts as sound effects. But I'm just saying, I did it before Fallon. I think we've established it. Yes, did it before Fallon.
Let's give them something to talk about.
So I do a lot of sound effects that are music related. So I have this thing where I will hum and click my tongue in rhythm. So I'm like, I've got like the backbeat to the melody.
Okay.
I don't know if I could do that right now.
That's like a really interesting beatbox, right?
I know I could almost beatbox if I tried, but the bad thing is if I think about it too much, it falls apart. So I'm just doing it like just naturally. It just comes out. Let me think. Okay.
Yeah, do it all natural.
Let me try this.
This is genius. This is groundbreaking. This is groundbreaking. Who's there with you? Who's doing that?
Wait, where is the hum coming from? And where is the click coming from?
Who's making those clicks?
Could you hear all of that? Okay.
Yeah. You tell your children.
That's me, man.
Helping.
It's my dog, Daisy.
That is magic. How do you know magic?
Yeah. So I get pretty, that was a simple one, but I can get pretty, I don't know what the word I'm looking for is, complicated.
No way it's more advanced than that.
Nope.
That's got to be that's like, it can't be crazier than that.
That's weird that I didn't even know that was a real talent. Like that's, I guess with your reactions, that's telling me it's a real talent.
That's buck wild.
I mean, that's totally like pat your head, rub your stomach, right? Like that's way harder than patting your head, rub your stomach.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank
that's
you.
incredible. You put my my beatbox. I thought my beatbox was good. You put mine to shame.
Oh, you had the silent disco beatbox down. That was perfect. I could.
Okay,
Yeah,
well,
that's
Tony,
definitely
what-
going to be the name of our episode of Silent Disco Beatbox, right? I wish.
For sure. So, Tony, what are you? I guess now you need to do some kind of beatbox or musical situation sound effect.
No. Oh, why does that have to be musical? I didn't want to do.
No, see
I wanted to do sound effects.
Yeah, so I can do a siren. That's about it. I don't know. I do a lot of stuff, and I don't even know that I'm doing it. So, go for it.
Now, when I was younger, I didn't think about this till just now. When I was younger, I used to have a thing that I would do. I don't know if I can do this right now, but I kind of prided myself on being able to screech like maybe a pig that's being tortured, or a bird of some sort. But I would screech in the most incredibly agonizing, like nails on a chalkboard way. And let me see what I can do here. Hold on.
Oh, you sound like
no.
a T-Rex.
Who's there with you?
Okay.
Who's
Right.
there with you? Tell your velociraptor to get out of the room.
Now the cool thing is I can make my tongue be a metronome while I do it too. It's amazing.
Oh,
No, I can't. Really,
I was so excited and a little bit angry that you were stealing my thing, but
right. No, I totally can't. But no, when I was a kid, like it was crazy sound effect time. I would do cars.
yeah.
You got to do
Like
cars.
you gotta do
Yeah.
cars. Tell me Coda doesn't make car sounds.
We
Does he
drive
not?
cars a lot. I don't know if he makes a sound or not. I'll have to find that out. I don't know.
At least a horn honking. Beep, beep.
Meep, meep.
Auga.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
Oh,
like
my
when you see
goodness.
a hot lady walk by. Auga.
Your eyes pop out of your head. Yeah.
Right. You know what I do realize? Probably the most prominent sound effect I do is like if I see somebody for the first time in the day, like we've been in the office for a couple hours and I hadn't seen them, then a lot of times I'll like chop their arm really awkwardly and do this. Whoopsh. And I don't know why. It's so strange and off-putting and weird. That's probably why they didn't see me for the first couple of hours. They were avoiding me, but I will definitely whoosh people sometimes.
Now, how are you going to feel when someone?
weird.
How are you going to feel when someone immediately, without hesitation, blocks it and hits you back with a whoosh?
Well, I think that's what I've been
You've been
preparing
waiting
for
for
my
that,
whole
yeah.
life.
When they
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
when they block you with a wax
Yeah.
off
And then
and
Crane
then go
kicked me,
wax
yeah.
on. Yeah.
You walk
Yeah.
up, you're like about to give them a whoosh, and they sweep the leg.
They say-
They sweep the leg. That's the day I'm waiting for.
We made a ton of sound. Think of all this wrestling sound effects you
Right.
guys
How
used,
about
all of
robots?
us used to make. Just think about. I talk to animals.
Totally.
Do animals sounds count?
Yeah. How about robots?
Because I talk to animals
Meep,
all
meep,
the
meep.
time. Still.
That was
just me. That was just a lot.
That wasn't me, everybody. It was Watzel.
robot cow.
But remember when we lived out in the country,
Cowbot,
Cowbot.
what's up? Moo.
No. When we lived out in the country, what, Sherry?
I was just going to say that I talked to all of the animals in their language. All of
Did you
them.
really?
The pig, the turkeys, the chickens, the rabbits don't have a sound.
Oh,
But I
yeah. I
talked
did.
to
I guess
them
I
too.
did too. The rabbit's only
yeah.
sound is the smell of feces. I think is the only. I don't know how that's a sound, but their feces smells bad enough that it becomes
That's
a
it.
sound.
And at certain times they
emits a
squeal.
How they
sound
pretty
wave.
communicate.
loud, but, yeah.
Mhm. All right. Well, let's move on. Wopsle, what are you reviewing this week?
Yeah. Well, we've been receiving some user submissions, which we really appreciate. So you can always send yours into reviews@kick.cool. So today I want to take one of our users' suggestions. My friend Adam suggested a few different things, and most of them were inappropriate, and we will not be reviewing on this podcast.
That's on a different podcast.
But the one that jumped out to me that I do want to hit on is he asked us to review emojis.
Ooh.
So we've mentioned emojis as a
Okay.
rating system on this podcast, but we haven't rated emojis themselves. So what are you guys' initial thoughts on emojis?
I like a lot of them because I admire people when they have an artistic emoji style. And I don't have that. I am very spare in my emojis because they take time. My eyes are not good. You have to scroll and look for just the right emoji. But some people are just boom, 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 boom. So
Well, it's like with any language, the more you use it, the more better you're going to get. And with any technology, the more you're familiar with the layout, the faster you're going to get at it. And so it's just a matter of using it. That's what I've learned. Now I know where those certain emojis are that I can go to, because at times me and my buddy Brando, and me and little Joe too, my cousin, our cousin, will have complete conversations pretty much just with emojis. So
I've never done that. I've never done that. I think because mostly I text with, other middle-aged people, and we just do smiley faces. Never used a poop emoji.
You've never used a poop emoji
in any conversation. I'm not even sure I have one on my phone.
Oh, you've got one on your phone.
No, I've
you've
never
got
used
the poop emoji, you've got to.
I'm gonna look.
if you have emojis, you definitely have the poop emoji.
I mean, I do on the if
While
we do
we're
Facebook
talking about
Messenger.
these real quick in this initial impression, do you know today how many emojis there are officially? You know, there's like a council that has to do with what emojis come out, and so
The Emoji Council?
they are called the Unicode Consortium. Actually,
Well, that sounds very
right?
Yeah, that sounds very.
We also
complicated.
call them the Emoji Council.
Yeah.
But according to them, there is 2,666 emojis. It's 2,666. So that's what you're scrolling through to find stuff on certain phones. Takes a while. That's too many.
Okay, so what category is the poop emoji under? Is it food, or
No.
is it under the soccer ball? It could be a.
If there were a list of all the categories that poop emoji would be under, I'm pretty sure food would be the
I'm
last
just thinking
one.
of the process, that starts as food. Sometimes,
It was at one point.
sometimes it can be a sport. So I'm looking in the sports category.
Oh,
How can I
man.
tie it into the car here? Once my kid pooped in the car. No, I can't find it. I'm sorry. I'm old. Closest I found is a brown heart.
It is. There's a brown heart?
There's a brown
Poop
heart.
heart.
The poop heart.
Poop heart. Okay. That's
Well, yeah, it is under smileys. Of course, that's where the poop is, under smileys.
Oh, you can scroll
Right.
down too. Okay. There he is.
A whole new world.
Are we back on newfangled technology?
Yeah. Sorry.
Basically, yeah. I think emojis are really interesting. I think here I'll start the most interesting thing about an emoji to me is that all of a sudden they get to mean something that might be different from what they were intended to be meant.
Yeah, this is definitely the most fascinating thing about emojis. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Totally. For example, if you guys were coming over to my Thanksgiving and I said, hey, if I want to do an emoji, say, hey, don't forget to bring an eggplant.
Yep.
There's no way I can do that in emojis.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
Nope. You have
can't
to
do that.
physically type eggplant now.
Yes. And heaven forbid autocorrect.
Unless you want me to stay home.
Right.
Go ahead.
Right.
You would get more food items brought to you if you said make sure and bring the poop emoji than if you did the eggplant.
You did the eggplant.
Well, and then the poop emoji too. That could be ice cream, right? Somebody said it looked like soft serve ice cream.
It does
So-
look like chocolate. Yep.
Yeah.
And so does poop. So it's on brand.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised. For the same thing that a lot of people use the eggplant for, I don't find that as effective. I use the arrow that just kind of slides up if I'm happy about something, and I use the arrow that
Yeah.
slides down if I'm not happy about something.
It's kind of simultaneously a little more abstract and also a little bit more like on the nose, like descriptive.
Yes.
I have really gotten into using GIFs in place of emojis. So
Yeah, GIFs are
I
kind of
enjoy
taking
doing
over
that.
the emoji space, I'm afraid.
Yeah. Oh, yeah,
Um,
totally.
Yeah.
Now, Wopsle, I remember the other day we were talking. You may have even said this on a podcast, but we were talking the other day, and you said clearly, and this is what's great, is I was Emoji City, just emojiing it up. And then one day I heard you say, I don't like emojis. And I was like, and now every time I tap one, I feel this weird feeling of, oh no.
Judgment.
I don't recall saying I don't like emojis. I'm terrified of sending an emoji that I think means one thing that actually
like
means another thing. Let me give you an example.
the
My buddy, he sent his mom, like, somebody passed away in their family. And she did this. This is a double whammy. She sent him back LOL and then the face with its smiling with tears coming out the side of its eyes.
Oh my
And
God.
she thought that she was saying lots of love, and then she was like wailing, like crying so hard that her head was facing up.
Oh, yes. Yes.
That literally happened to,
That's
well, you guys know
hilarious.
Max. That happened to Max. And I just think like, what if I send somebody something that I think I'm saying one thing and it turns out, oh, I've missed the mark so bad.
Well, wouldn't you like to know? I mean, like if or you could just ask Amy first before you ever send an emoji.
No, she knows much more about emojis than I do, and she definitely corrects me. There is an emoji that is that one that has like, it's a yellow face and he's kind of bearing a lot of his teeth and he's kind of like this, like, eee. You gotta know that one? He's like, ooh, that was awkward. Okay, that one is called grinning face with smiling eyes. That's the name of that emoji according to the Unicode Consortium.
Well, his eyes are not smiling.
But if you look at that across different platforms, he's doing very different things on different phones. Mm-hmm. So then if someone sends me a thing and I'm like responding like, this is awkward. Like, I have no idea what it's saying on their phone.
That is very true,
like,
Wopsle.
Yeah.
My buddy Brando, this is great. This is this is perfect timing. Just a couple months ago, my buddy Brando, whom I've been emojiing with for about 8 years, he sent me an emoji, and I was like, well, that response doesn't seem appropriate. And what it was, it's the one that he uses all the time, and it is the I have wide eyes and rosy cheeks because I'm both shocked and embarrassed. Right? A normal mouth, normal just line of a mouth, and the, oh my goodness, I can't believe that just happened. I'm so embarrassed. I'm shocked. So that's his go-to. He does it all the time. And for 8 years now, I've been going, why does he keep using that? And then it started making me laugh because I was like, that's not what that is. And it's hilarious now. And then after 8 years, just the other day, he said, well, that's shocked. And I said, no, it is shocked, but it's also embarrassed. Shocked is when the mouth is in the O and the eyes are wide. And he was like, oh, well, that's not how it shows on my phone. On my phone, it looks like this. And he took a screenshot and sent it to me, and it looks like a shocked face, not the embarrassed. So all for 8 years now, exactly what you're talking about.
That's so good. Okay, well, I was afraid of doing it, but now I feel like I want to lean into doing the wrong emojis, saying the wrong things. I feel like that might be releasing some joy into the world that I'm holding back selfishly for my own protection.
I wonder if they have the karate chop on the arm equivalent of an emoji for you. That's what we really need to find.
First time someone texts me in about a month and I say, whoosh, back to them. Emojis were a little bit come
Right.
out of the emoticons, like smileys, that kind of way. And so sometimes I'll kind of like throw it back and do like, a colon followed by a parenthesis and just like old school smiley. But that's dumb, people. I need to stop doing that. There's lots
No,
of things
it's not dumb. It's not dumb.
I think it's
Yes,
dated and weird and dumb. But
well, so is punctuation, but I
Yeah.
still want to use it.
Yeah, the period is
that's
dead.
fair. That's fair. Well, so I don't know if you can just pull one of these. I was thinking we might rate emojis based on an emoji, maybe. What do you rate?
I think I'm going to rate it. This one I'm looking at right here. It is a little cowboy with a lopsided smile. I don't know what it's called, but
Okay.
he's got a little cowboy hat and he's got a little crooked smile.
I like it.
Okay, yeah.
Cowboy with a
Yeah.
crooked smile.
Well, first thing I just want to get out of the way, Adam, thank you so much for the suggestion, dude. That's awesome. Thanks for sending it in. Adam is one of the coolest dudes in the world. But as far as my emoji, my rating is skull and crossbones because this is a dead technology. Now, the way that we used to do them was we put a colon and a parentheses. Now we do a little face, but now, like Sherry said, the emoji is dead, folks. It's the GIF. The GIF is what you do from now on. Why are we still doing emojis? This is a dead technology. I give it a skull and crossbones.
Damn,
Wow.
not bad. Yeah,
Feel
why would you
strongly
use a
about
smiley when Michael Scott can obviously communicate what you want to say
Right.
more thoroughly?
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, the emoji for me, and I got to give you props, Tone, because you use this emoji perfectly every time in a way that gets at least a smirk and sometimes even a chuckle out of me.
Okay.
And so that's what I'm going to rate emojis is the cool sunglasses guy emoji.
Oh, yeah.
That's what emojis
That's
are.
my
That is a
favorite.
Tone classic.
You're an
Yes.
expert at that, Tone.
Thank you. Okay, well, I guess Shishi, let's move on to you. What do you got?
Okay. Well, I am going to review one of my favorite things. So you already know how it's going to end because it is one of my favorite things, and that is singing in the car. I love to sing in
Yeah.
the car. Now, you
People are
can sing lots of
talking.
places, but singing in the car, don't even.
So,
Bark, 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 bark. That's where I perfected the chicken song. So,
right.
Okay, singing in the car.
so
I'm singing in the car.
Oh, yes.
Well, you can be freer in the car than you can be anywhere else in your life. If you're by yourself in your car, it's a bubble. You can sing as loudly and as badly as you want. It's just
Mhm.
now, okay, so here we get back to the technology thing. I'm
Right.
sorry I keep going back to this, but I listen to the radio. I
Mhm.
listen to the radio. I have my stations plugged in, and I'm not talking about satellite radio. I'm talking about airwaves free radio. So I have my favorite stations, and of course, this isn't going to resonate with everybody because they don't all live around here. But my favorite morning show is Joey and Heather morning show on Kiss FM, 98.9 Kiss FM here in Oklahoma City. And I wasn't really planning to do such a huge shout out to them, but hey,
Right,
shout out
hey.
Joey and Heather.
Right. Hey.
This
But
week's
they get me to
sponsor.
work and my best friends. They don't know it. But anyway, so yeah, I love to, just when a commercial comes on, you click the button and just keep, surfing through the commercials. Sometimes you want to hear different commercials, right? So, and then, you'll hit upon like the oldie station and there's Duran Duran singing Ordinary World. And, then the next one's going to be Twisted Sister. And then we go back to my favorite station and Lizzo's on there. I mean, I will throw down some Lizzo. I will throw
She's
down
good.
some Lizzo.
I don't
Yeah.
know what that means.
So, Lizzo is a singer that they play on the radio.
Okay.
The
And you
most
probably
The most Gen Z thing we've ever said on this podcast is throw down some Lizzo.
I will throw
That's
down some
incredible.
Right.
I'm Gen X, so what does that say?
That's good. That's
No, that
good.
is a
I'm
great-
such a nerd.
That's a great point. I mean, listening to when me and Shishi talked about this the other day, that listening to the radio kind of keeps you up to date way more than listening to Spotify.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Since you can just like pick and choose what you would already like, you're not as likely to hear something new. But so what do what do you think about that, Tone?
Yeah, I will say this first of all. With Spotify, the way I use it, I'm way more likely to hear something I've never heard before because I listen to its suggestions. I listen to my Discover Weekly playlist every week, and
Yeah, me too.
and things like that. Yeah, so as far as singing in the car, it's all dependent on one thing. I don't believe, for me, since I live alone, I am way more happy about singing in my house, on my couch, or while I'm cleaning the house than I am about singing in my car because I don't want people looking at me. Now, if I have a really good tint on those windows, I'm way more likely to sing in my car. Now, if the windows are down and you're singing in your car, you're an insane person.
No,
All of a
I have
sudden
two
now
things
you're
about
singing-
that.
All of a sudden now you're singing in public instead of singing in your car.
No, I have two things
Yeah.
about that. Number one, are you not
Yeah.
afraid that your neighbor's going to hear you through the wall?
No, I don't care. It's my house.
Okay, well,
Yeah, I
I
don't
would
know
be
why.
way
I
more
don't
embarrassed
care.
about that because in the car, when I see someone else banging to something, I love it. It makes me happy.
Yeah.
It makes me joyful. And I go out into the world with, much more compassion and joy. So I love seeing people singing in their car. So that's why I don't worry about it anymore. I just, I'll Bohemian Rhapsody. I'll do that. I'll do all the parts and I'll do it with my mouth wide open. So
Has anyone ever seen you that you know and then commented on it? And would they, if they did, would that change how you feel about it?
Obviously it depends on the comment, but I can't imagine anyone coming up and saying, "Why are you singing in your car? You're such an idiot." But if they just commented on it, was like, "I saw you today. You were having a good time in your car." And I'd be like, "Yeah, I was." So, yeah. I was like, "You should
Okay.
too. Come riding with me. We'll sing together." Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, Sherry,
what
if it's
about-
because you're the oldest, but you have always been the most self-confident. So you can, all three of us have been lead singers in bands before, but yet, so I don't mind getting on a stage and singing to a crowd of people, but singing in my car out in public where people can see me and everything,
Right.
that's a little too far. I don't know that I can do that.
I almost spit water on my microphone when you said I was the most confident. I almost ruined my equipment because of that. But yes, I think actually the confidence to sing in the car came when I realized how happy it makes me when other people sing in the car. Like it didn't always feel this way.
I love that.
But now that I'm
Yeah,
older
I do too.
and I know that it can bring other people joy, I got nothing to lose. So
We'll see. Now, I drum in the car like nobody's business. I'm the
Yeah.
best car
I
drummer
dance in the car,
ever.
yeah.
Nope, you're second.
No
buddy, 'cause
way.
we need to have a car drum
Yes,
off.
we do.
I've noticed that if my kids are in the car, I play a lot more instruments while I'm driving. Like I have to do it for them. I'm performing for them. I don't know if they're paying any attention. Sometimes I'll play the piano on their leg. Sometimes I'll, poke them. Like I used to when my kids were little, I would always, Steve Miller Band, come on, abracadabra. I want to reach out and grab you. And guess what I did? Guess what I did? I grabbed them
You
Yeah.
did not.
every
Reached
single
out and grabbed
time.
them.
Every single time. And I still do. And they're just like, ooh, they just endure it.
Right. I just wanted to say I think that I don't appreciate when other people are singing. I honestly and this makes me feel like a really gross person now. But because I wish I had your attitude where I was like, look at that person spreading their joy out into the world. But I'm like, put a lid on it. Jeez.
Like, what's
Get a
your
room.
deal?
What is your problem? Yeah, get a room. Will you go home?
Do
Yeah,
you
but
have
if you
any
saw-
idea of the state of the
Right.
world right now?
Look, I'm happy
Did you
too.
sing at a time like
I'm
this?
happy too, but I don't take my pants off and run around.
So if you saw a grandma going down the road, headbanging to Twisted Sister, would that not make you smile?
Part of it is
Because that's
I have no
basically
idea
what people are seeing when I do that.
I don't know what they're singing, and I think part of me assumes that they're singing something stupid.
Sometimes you can hear it. Sometimes you know what they're singing.
Yeah, that's true. No, I'm actually way. I like people way better if they have their. No, I don't like it. Chill out, man. Sorry.
Oh man.
Let's try an experiment. Now, no one listens to this podcast simultaneously, right? It downloads to your device and you can listen to it whenever you want. But a lot of people will be listening to this in their car.
Right.
Can we sing a little something right now and ask the people listening to this to sing along in
I
their
agree.
car?
Yeah.
That they might spread a little bit of joy, or at least they will look a lot of bit of strange, and just to kind of see what that does to the world.
How about this? Let's take it a step further. If this is an equation, okay, this is a theorem. If we can say that it is true that when someone sees you singing in your car, it brings the world more joy, then can we not also say that if you are actually singing in public, that it is bringing more joy? So therefore, not just if you're in your car listening, if you, no matter what you're doing, listening to this podcast right now, I want you to spread as much joy as you can and sing this song along with us. Wopsle, go ahead and start us off.
I don't sanction this.
Yeah, you can apologize to your pastor later for interrupting his sermon. Let's go.
If you're listening to a podcast while your preacher's preaching,
You're already in trouble. Yes.
Okay. They keep saying we laugh just a little too loud.
A little too loud.
They stand just a little too high.
Yo, we got to do better than that. If
They
we're
stand just.
Sorry.
you could have picked a song you know. How about this one?
No, I don't want to pick a song
okay.
you know. Okay, go she. Go. Hey, she. This is your bit. You pick the song that you want the world to sing. I think you
Yeah,
understand the joy that one singing in a car
Good
can
call.
bring. So I think that you have your hand on this, your finger on this
Okay,
pulse a
well,
little bit
I have
better.
a blank
Yeah.
mind right
Go
now.
ahead.
Y'all broke me.
Nice.
No, okay. I know which one. This is a joyful song. Okay, ready? Don't stop believing.
Boom, boom, boom.
Hold on to the
Feeling.
feeling.
Street
Street
lights. People.
Whoa. There.
Don't stop believing. Hold on to that feeling.
Street light. People.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Okay.
And then if we were
That's good.
And then if we were a singing group, we would all three at the same time to end the song. We would all go, "Don't stop."
That's
we really
good.
need to practice things before we
Put that.
do these
Print that.
things.
That's good stuff, y'all. Man,
Applause.
I'm moved right
Applause
now.
emoji.
Oh, that was a
we
good
can
one.
choose
Good-
either
good
one of
song choice.
those. Either one of those choices will do.
We need to rate singing in the car.
I have mine. So if you guys want to think a second before I call you.
why would I start doing that now?
Okay.
I'll be so uncomfortable. I'll get confused.
Okay. So, Tone, what do you rate singing in the car?
Singing in the car, I of course have already told you I'm not a huge fan of it. Drumming in the car, I'm a fan, but I'm going to give it the rating of maybe they're seeing Something we don't, darling. That's my rating.
Oh, yes.
I don't know why we chose
That's
that
good.
song, but I am glad. So that's a funny song.
It chose us.
It chose
It
us.
chose us.
Okay, Wopsle, what about you?
Stay with me. I'm going to rate singing in the car flossing, not the dance, but the teeth cleaning thing, because I don't do it, but I probably should.
Yeah.
You should be doing the dance too.
Yeah. Right.
Okay.
Man, I sure hope that everybody sang along with us when we, right? I hope so.
I'm
And they-
sure.
I feel like they didn't even have to sing the song we were singing, as long as they
Right.
sang something, because it didn't matter at all. Okay, well, I rate singing in the car. Don't stop.
Nice.
Nice.
Way to finish it off.
Yes.
Okay. I think let's move over to the BLB. That's me. This week I want to talk about surprises.
Ooh.
Surprise!
Surprise. Now,
Oh,
first
no.
off, let's just say in the movie UHF, the guys come out of the supply closet and go, supplies.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I just want to start off with that. So, Wopsle, what has surprised you lately?
Okay, well, you've zagged me for a little bit because there are things that surprise you, which I think when you say that, I think of like something I didn't know that I found out that surprised me. And I like
Right.
that because being surprised, like a surprise party, is actual literal hell to me. I hate it
Right.
so bad.
Right.
So,
Really?
That's on my list of talking
oh, I
points. Yeah.
hate it so bad. So I'm having a hard time getting past my discomfort, and like I'm sweating so bad right now thinking about being surprised.
Okay, well,
Having a hard
while
time
you think
thinking about.
While you think about that,
Okay.
one of the questions I had on my list to pose to both of you is: have you ever had a surprise party in your life?
no.
I haven't
Yes,
either. You have? Did you hate
I
it?
have. It was the worst. Amy did it for me, and it was so sweet. She put on so much work into it, and it still, I mean, not a month goes by that we don't harken back to that party that she threw that I was so angry and so mad. I had the worst attitude.
Aw.
It was like one of the worst days of me like performing as a co-human with another human was how mean and mad I was that night. It was bad.
Oh, I wish I could go back and hug you both.
It was office themed, and so she had, printed out on paper, "It is your birthday" on the wall.
Right?
And it was brilliant. It was all together put really great. There was a bunch of my students in my ministry that were there with, it was awesome. All things. It was one of the better surprise parties that anyone could have ever thrown. Right on brand, so awesome.
Oh,
And I was just a turd. I was a turd.
I feel like I would react that way too. I mean, I might get my turdiness in after the party, like I would pretend like it was great and fine, and then I would be salty.
I would end it very
That would
quickly.
be better.
Yeah, I would be like, "Oh, this is great. Thank you so much. Yeah, it's done. I'm over now." Yeah.
Here's what I've thought about lately.
What
is
an
if-
eggplant!
If it's an appropriately surprising surprise, you can just fake a heart attack and fall down. Party over.
Yep.
Done. Surprise, killed the
Let
party.
me ask you.
don't
You
gotta
can
worry.
you can also grab a chair, smash the window, stick your head through the window, and start slicing your neck with the glass.
Oh, ow!
Yeah.
That'll end the party.
Yeah, you
The
could
end
do
of
that.
party.
Yeah,
End the
that would
party.
end.
Surprise! And you got to yell surprise while you're doing it.
You have to one up their surprise.
Right,
So
right.
You think you
Oh,
you
no.
guys got a surprise?
Oh,
I got a surprise too.
this is pretty surprising, isn't it? Yeah. Hey, Wopsle. So
Yeah.
why did you react that? Why do you hate them so much? What is it about the surprise party as opposed to the planned party that you hate?
I just think, I don't know. I'm not too afraid of the unknown, but there's something about this particular night. Like I wanted to go and do something and she kind of couldn't let me. I think you're right. That's the hinge that a good surprise, I'm afraid, falls on. do you have to like keep the person away and like keep them from doing what it is they want to do in order to
Right.
keep the surprise? Because if you have to do that for like 2 minutes, it's not that big a deal. But she had to do it for like 45 minutes with me to get everything ready.
And you're like,
And so
what
by the time
heck?
it started, I was so frustrated already. And then when I saw the party, I think I might have literally said to her, "This is the dumb thing that you've been keeping me away from for so long."
Oh no. I thank you for copying to that. I'm sorry that I had to witness that.
So I think it was part of it. Maybe I don't hate the actual surprise part as much as it's so hard to pull off well in a way that's like affirming and uplifting to the surprisee.
Oh, and you saying that about them keeping you from doing stuff reminded me that I have had a surprise party. Just real quick, I had a surprise baby shower with my third kid,
Oh,
Meg
no.
Rose. So, yeah.
Did you like
And
it?
he was like,
Surprise,
well,
it's a baby shower.
I don't like parties in general.
Right.
So I was uncomfortable and awkward. I appreciated it very much. I was very, very tired at 8 months pregnant, very tired from working all day. And my husband insisted on going out to dinner. And I was like, why? I only have one shirt and it's
right.
dirty.
Yeah.
And so I only have one shirt that fits and it's dirty. So I don't want to go anywhere. Thank you very much. And he forced me to
He's
go.
like, no,
and
we have to go.
we had a
Yeah.
shower. Yeah. Yeah.
Why are you acting this way? That's like what that's what enters every person who's about to receive a surprise party. Enters their mind at some point.
Yeah.
Why are you acting this way?
Are you going to leave me?
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you high? What?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you high right now?
Yes.
So, Wopsle, what do you rate surprises?
You got two different aspects. I hate the one so bad, but I love like learning new things and being pleasantly surprised, right? That's a pleasantly surprised is great. So I think that I'll give it I give it a strike with a 7-10 split left. Yeah.
Okay. A 7-10 split
A strike.
with strike.
Okay.
I don't know if any of that makes sense, but okay.
Oh my god.
You know what? Hey, you know what? If that happened, you know what everyone would be? Surprised.
Surprised?
Shishi, what do you rate surprises?
2 out of 4 stars.
2 out of 4 stars.
Okay.
Yep. All right.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to rate surprises supplies.
Oh, yay. Yay.
Yes.
That makes me happy. That was a good surprise.
Because I have seen the movie UHF and I am a fan of Weird Al. Thank you very much.
Yes.
I just earned my nerd card. What? Okay, I think that's us for this week that we are done. I do want to do some shout outs this week real quick. I've got 3 people that I want to shout out. Just so happens I do know them, but I'm going to give a shout out to Matt Mitchell, one of the coolest people you'll ever meet in your life. We got to give a shout out to Michelle Opila Snyder. She is one of our biggest fans. She's the one that said that she was going to go out and listen to her podcast, and her husband or somebody said, well, usually you listen to these like intense podcasts and that doesn't sound fun. And she said, no, this one's about farts. And and then I got to give a shout out to my best buddy in the world. Nathan Valentine was a hipster before that word existed, and a hipster in the best way possible. He is one of the coolest people in the world, has introduced me to so much music, but those 3 guys are all over our podcast. Thank you so much.
Awesome.
Awesome. Yeah, I want to give a couple of
you,
shout
guys.
outs to maybe kind of mostly one. Interestingly, all of the women that work in and around the children's ministry at the church I go to are all like sold out for the podcast. And they all kind of got there because of Linda Chalker listening and loving and telling all of her friends about it. So I'll give her the first shout out. And then secondly, I'll just give it.
Thanks, Linda.
I'll just give the second shout out is to just a good buddy that is he sends me a message every week just telling me like his favorite bit from the episode, which I really like. And so that is my buddy from one of my Duncan boys, Ken Adams. So those are my 2 shouts out.
Yeah.
I have a couple. I just appreciate everybody that listens so much, even if I don't know you. But I've got to say thanks for listening to my coworker, Kim Pringle. She has the same sense of humor I do, so I can probably guess which part she laughs at and which part she doesn't. But then
Thanks, Kim.
Thanks, Kim. And then a shout out to my cousin Tina Hen. I've never met her, but she lives in Dallas and she's one of our biggest fans. I'm really happy that we are making her happy.
Tina is
Thanks,
one of
guys.
the people that like you don't know them, but you know that they are one of the coolest people in the world. Somehow you know
Yes.
that, even though you've never met
Yeah.
them. But
She's a geologist. That right there makes
Yeah.
her cool.
Yeah.
she's amazing.
know.
Hey, that rocks.
One of our biggest fans.
Sorry, that was bad.
She rocks like igneous.
Cut that out if you need to.
Yep, that's gone. That's on the
Don't.
cutting room floor already. I
Don't
already
cut
cut it
it.
out.
Don't cut it.
I already did. Okay. Thank you so much, everybody, for listening. And we do want to give a very special thank you to the band Bugs for letting us use the song Reviews from their 2017 album Self-Help. Go buy that album and go like their Facebook page right now. The link is on our website at www.kick.cool.
A few weeks ago, we linked a live performance that they did for this radio station in Australia that was awesome.
It was so good.
So good. So go listen to that.
Yeah, they're amazing.
And then also, we've been getting some reviews in, like our friend Adam, who shared a review today that we did. We actually are starting to get some emails now, too. So if you have a review that you would like for us to do, then you can send that to reviews@kick.cool.
Excellent. All right, guys. Join us in 2 weeks for episode 7 when we give you more of the reviews you didn't know you needed. Love you.
Love
bye.
you. Bye.
Love you. Bye.
See ya.